Does drinking and driving seem like a big deal to you? You've had one drink. Only one drink. You're fine, right? Well, not in the eyes of the law. And by choosing to drink and drive, you could change your life and possibly the lives of others. Consuming alcohol prior to driving your car, excuse me, affects your ability to drive safely, whether you realize it or not, which is precisely why drinking and driving is illegal. And unlike other laws, when you are caught breaking this one, you can expect to pay a severe penalty. I am a concerned mother. I have an 18-year-old daughter, and for that reason I found it very important to educate myself, her, and hopefully you on the severe consequences associated with drinking and driving. Just picture this. It's late at night, you're driving down the road, and suddenly there are flashing lights. You pull over, and things are about to get very serious. Getting pulled over and found to be driving under the influence of alcohol will negatively impact your life in many ways. For starters, you will be arrested and put into custody immediately. According to a report published by the California Department of Motor Vehicles, in the year 2012, 182,000 people were arrested for suspicion of driving and drinking. 182,000. In addition to just getting arrested and experiencing something so traumatic, you will also be subjected to sizable financial hardship, which will include legal fees, court-ordered fines, increased auto insurance, as well as the cost and time associated with attending a year-long court-ordered class. Getting behind the wheel of your car after drinking is illegal, and if you get caught, the impact it will have on you will be immediate and long-lasting. It will affect your life on many levels, and for a very prolonged period of time. So why do it? Once it has been determined that you are suspected of being under the influence, the arresting officer will immediately place your hands behind your back. At that time, you will be made aware that you are under the arrest on suspicion of driving your vehicle while under the influence of alcohol. You will immediately be handcuffed, arrested, and placed in the back seat of the police car, where you will remain until your vehicle has been hooked up to a tow truck and taken to the impound yard. Assuming you haven't involved others, you will be charged with felony driving under the influence. At that time, you will be transported to county jail. Yes, lovely county jail, and booked for driving under the influence and possibly any other crimes that may be associated with your arrest. Here, you will endure a lovely 8 hours of processing through the legal system. This lovely process includes getting your fingers printed, having your picture taken, also known as a mugshot, as well as being stripped of all your clothing and personal belongings before being made to wear the mandatory jumpsuit, which is provided at no extra cost. Based on your charges, you will receive a statutory bail amount, which will dictate the amount of money necessary to be released. Most people solicit the help of a lovely bail bondsman, which will allow you to pay only 10% of your total bail in order to be released. If you are unable to post a bond in the amount required, you will remain in custody up until your arraignment hearing, at which time the judge can choose to release you on your own recognizance or decide that you will remain in custody until the matter has been resolved. You can expect to receive a bail amount in the neighborhood of approximately $25,000 to $50,000, requiring you to pay $2,500 to $5,000 to the bail bondsman, which is non-refundable regardless of the outcome of your case. After being released from county jail and having had the experience associated with being arrested by the police, you will then have to deal with a very different set of unpleasant circumstances. As a suspect out on bail and facing criminal charges, you will need to either retain an attorney, or if you cannot afford to hire an attorney, you will need to ask the courts to provide you with a public defender. Depending on the circumstances, the complexity of your case, and your choice of lawyers, you can expect to pay a minimum of $3,000. In addition, if you are convicted, you will be required to pay fines, as well as court costs ranging in the thousands of dollars. As soon as your conviction becomes final, you will be contacted by the Department of Motor Vehicles, and depending on the multitude of circumstances and the determination of the courts, you will either have your driver's license suspended for a period of time, or your driver's license will be reinstated with a conditional use restriction. But either way, once the officer confiscates your license, according to the Department of Motor Vehicles, it will cost you $125 just to have your license reissued. Furthermore, once your automobile insurance company becomes aware of your conviction for drinking while under the influence of alcohol, you can expect your premiums to increase by 300% and stay that way for up to 3 years from the date of your conviction, as stated by drivinglaws.org. In addition to the courts imposing fines and possibly even incarceration as a result of your conviction, you will also be required to attend and complete a class held once a week for 1 year. The cost of attending this class can range depending on the provider. However, failure to complete all court-ordered classes will result in additional legal issues and potentially more charges being filed. So, as noted, the costs associated with drinking and driving can be very high. Not only will you be put through the most traumatic experience associated with being handcuffed and arrested, booked into jail, and processed like any other criminal, but you will also be required to retain an attorney to represent you in court. You will face severe financial penalties imposed by the courts, as well as incur a substantial increase in your auto insurance premiums. Additionally, the Department of Motor Vehicles will impose restrictions on your driver's license for a period of time, as well as require you to complete court-ordered classes. As you can see, drinking and driving, without a question, is a very expensive crime, and one that comes with a very heavy price, not only financially, but personally as well. So I say to you, why take the chance? If you drink, don't drive. That's it. It's that simple. Thank you.